Hello everyone! In this video today we're going to be making these like pink lace flower granny squares. So far I've been using these four colors as the borders, and I just made the raspberry pink one, which I think is probably my favorite out of the four. I'm using DK weight yarn and then a 3.5mm crochet hook. And my goal is, so once I make all the squares, I'm hoping to join them up and make a pillow. So I'll write up the full pattern for that, and it'll be available as like a PDF with both the written pattern and some step-by-step pictures. I'll put the link for that in the description box down below, so that way if you want to follow along with the written pattern while you're watching this video, you can. But there's a lot of different projects you can make with these squares. You definitely do not have to make a pillow with them. And then I'll also write up a blog post where I'll go over like the yarn I'm using and the colors and a little bit of background information about the pattern. So I'll put the links for both of those in the description box down below. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so we're going to begin with the pink, and we'll start with a magic circle. So normally to make a magic circle, what I do is I take 2 fingers, you lay the yarn over the top, then you're going to grab it and wrap it around again. Then on the top part of your hand, you'll see it kind of looks like an X. You're going to take your hook and you'll pull the yarn that's on the left side through. Then that yarn that's on the top left, we're going to take that and pull it through our loop. And then the tail will kind of be like tangled on the inside. So that's how you create your magic circle. You also can, if you want to, you could chain 4 and then slip stitch into that first chain to create the loop to begin with. So we already have 1 chain, we're going to chain 2 more. That's not going to count as a stitch for this round, and the reason why is in future rounds we're going to work like front loop only and back loop only stitches, so we won't want to let that one count. So now we're going to work 12 double crochet into the magic circle. So for a double crochet, you yarn over, insert your hook in the magic circle, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, so yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So go ahead and do that again. So for a double crochet stitch, it's yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops, so yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So one more time, it's yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So far we have 3 double crochet stitches. We're going to need 12 total for this round. And then also, I'm using US terms in this video today. If you prefer UK, you would call this a treble stitch. I'll put down in the description box how you can convert back and forth between the two. Alright, so I'm at the end of round 1 here, so we have that chain 3, which does not count as a stitch, and then 12 double crochet. So you can go ahead and grab the tail of the magic circle and pull it closed. And then afterwards, we're not going to slip stitch into that chain 3, instead into the first double crochet. And then normally when you crochet, you insert your hook into both loops, so there's a front loop and a back loop. For this slip stitch, we're only going to slip stitch into the front loop, so you'll just insert your hook and then work a slip stitch. Now for this next round, we're going to be working front loop only stitches. We'll begin with the chain 1, and that's not going to count as a stitch. So into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into, we're going to work a single crochet. So you'll insert your hook just underneath the front loop only, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 2 loops on your hook, so then yarn over, pull through 2. So then again, into that next stitch, it'll be a front loop only single crochet. So you'll insert your hook just underneath the front loop, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 2 loops on your hook, so then yarn over, pull through 2. So one more time, it'll just be insert your hook only under the front loop, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through 2. So go ahead and just continue this around, into each stitch is going to be a front loop only single crochet. Alright, so I'm at the end of round 2 here, so remember that chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch, and then afterwards we have 12 single crochet. Now we're going to slip stitch into that first single crochet. So for this one, when you insert your hook, you'll insert it underneath both the front and the back loop. So you have both loops, and then work a slip stitch. So for round 2, we worked front loop only single crochet stitches. Now for round 3, we're going to work back loop only single crochet stitches, and it's going to be into the back loops of the first round. So we're going to work into the back loops of the first round. So what you want to do is behind these single crochet stitches, if you look, you'll see all of the back loops from that first round. And so the first one, it can be a little bit tricky to find, but it'll be directly behind that first single crochet stitch. So once you insert your hook, we'll go ahead and work a slip stitch. Then just like before, we'll chain 1, and that's not going to count as a stitch. Then into that same loop we just worked the slip stitch into, we'll insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through 2. Then into the next stitch once again, so we're inserting our hook into the back loop. So remember, you won't be able to see those front loops anymore since we already worked into them, so it's just the back loop that's there. And then we'll work a single crochet, and then we'll just continue like this around. So you'll end up having a total of 12 single crochet stitches. Alright, so I just finished round 3, so you can go ahead and count to check. You'll have that chain 1, which doesn't count as a stitch, and then 12 single crochet stitches. There will be a little bit of a gap at the end because that chain 3 did not count as a stitch, but it's alright. What we'll do is we're just going to slip stitch into that first single crochet, and we're going to slip stitch front loop only. So you'll insert your hook just underneath the front loop, and then work a slip stitch. Now for this next round, it's going to be front loop only again, and we're going to be working into those single crochet stitches that we just crocheted for round 3. So we begin with the chain 1, and that's not going to count as a stitch. So into that same stitch in the front loop only, it's going to be a single crochet. And then we'll chain 5. Then into the next stitch, we'll work a front loop only single crochet, chain 5, then into the next stitch, it'll be a front loop only single crochet, chain 5, so that's going to be the pattern for this round. It's always just a front loop only single crochet, and then chain 5. So you can go ahead and continue that around, and then I'll meet you at the end. Alright, so I've just finished round 4. I've just worked a chain 5. So for this round, you'll have a total of 12 front loop only single crochet stitches, and then 12 chain 5 spaces. So now we'll slip stitch into the first single crochet from this round, and this time when you work your slip stitch, it'll be both the front loop and the back loop that we're working into. Now for this next round, we're just going to be working in the chain 5 spaces, and that will create the petals of the flower. So we'll begin with a chain 1, and that's not going to count as a stitch. Then into that next chain 5 space, you'll insert your hook, and we're going to work a single crochet, then a double crochet. So remember, for a double, you yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, so yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Then we're going to work a treble. So for a treble, you yarn over once, twice, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 4 loops on your hook, so you yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So far we have a single, double, treble, then it's going to be a double, single. So double crochet again is yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, then it'll be yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then a single crochet. So that's like one of the petals of the flower. So it's single, double, treble, double, single. So I'll do that again. So into the next space, it's single crochet, double, so yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So a single crochet, a double crochet, then a treble, so you yarn over once, twice, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 4 loops, so you yarn over, pull through 2, 3 times. Then double crochet, so yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, then you'll yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then a single crochet. So you can go ahead and continue that pattern around. So remember, we're not going to work into those single crochet stitches at all. It's just the chain 5 spaces. So into each chain 5 space, it's a single, double, treble, and then double, single. So you can go ahead and continue that around, and then I'll meet you at the end. Alright, so I just finished round 5, and so you can find the first single crochet stitch from this round, and you'll insert your hook underneath both the front and the back loop this time and work a slip stitch. And then we can go ahead and fasten off. And then I'm going to pause for 1 second and just weave in these ends so that way they won't be in the way while we work the other rounds. Alright, so we're now moving on to round 6. And as you can see, to get kind of like the layered effect with this granny square, for the background, we're going to work into the back loops of the stitches from round 3. So remember, round 1 was the double crochet, round 2 was those single crochet into the front loop only, which kind of stand up on top of the flower. And then now we're going to work into the back loops of round 3, which were those single crochet stitches. So you can go ahead, if you flip the flower upside down, you can see those back loops we still haven't worked into yet. So you can find just one of them and you'll insert your hook into it. So remember, the front loop, since we already worked into it, you won't be able to see that anymore, so it's just the back loop that's left. And then we'll pull the pink yarn through. Now we're going to chain 3. And then from now on, that chain 3 will count as the first double crochet stitch. So then into the next stitch, remember there's just the back loop that we're working into. We're going to work a double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, so yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Then into this next stitch is going to be 2 double crochet. So it's 2 double crochet, chain 2. Then into that same stitch is going to be 2 more double crochet. So that right there is going to become like one of the corners of the square. So now we'll start working on the next side of the square. So into each of the next two stitches, it's going to be a double crochet stitch. Then we'll work another corner. So into that next stitch, it's going to be 2 double crochet. Chain 2. And then 2 double crochet. So that's how you crochet one of the sides of the square. It's always, you'll double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches, and then in that next stitch, it's 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So you can go ahead and repeat that 2 more times to form like the other 2 sides of the square, and then I'll meet you at the end. Alright, so I'm at the end of round 6 here. I've just worked one of those corners. Then also I wanted to point out, so remember when we were working round 3 with the single crochet stitches, we had a chain 1 at the beginning and that did not count as a stitch. So when you're working into the back loops, I think it was right here I reached it. You'll be able to see a little bit where that chain 1 was, and you don't want to work into that, so there's a teeny tiny little bit of a gap there, but the flower will end up covering that part up. So now we can go ahead and slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. And now for the rest of the pattern, we're mostly just going to be working like normal crochet stitches. We won't have all of like the front loop only and back loop only stitches. So for this next round, we'll begin with the chain 3. Into the next stitch, there'll be a double crochet. Then into each of these following stitches until that chain 2 space, we'll work a double crochet. Then into that chain 2 space, we'll work 2 double crochet. Then chain 2. And then 2 more double crochet. So in that chain 2 space, it's 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. Then along the next side, we'll double crochet into each stitch. And then once you reach that chain 2 space, once again, it'll be 2 double crochet. Then chain 2. Then 2 more double crochet. So you can go ahead and continue that around. Into each double crochet stitch, you'll work a double crochet, and then in those chain 2 spaces, it'll be 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and then I'll meet you at the end. Alright, so I'm at the end around 7 here, so we can go ahead and slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. Then for this next round, once again, we'll begin with the chain 3. And then the pattern is going to be the same as the previous round, so in the next stitch you'll work a double crochet. And then into each of the following stitches, it'll just be a double crochet, except in those chain 2 spaces, it'll be 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So you can go ahead and continue around, and then I'll meet you at the end and we'll add the border color. All right, so I'm at the end around 3 here, so you can go ahead and find the top of the chain 3 and work a slip stitch. And then we'll go ahead and fasten off. So for the pink background, there'll be a total of 3 rounds of the granny square. Now we're going to go ahead and add the border color, but I'm going to pause for a second and just weave in those ends. Alright, so then for this last round, I'm going to use green as the border. So into any of the chain 2 spaces, you'll just take the color of the border and join it into the corner. And then we're going to begin by chaining 2. So it'll be 1, 2. That's going to count as our first half double crochet stitch. Then we're going to work another half double crochet into the corner. So for our half double crochet, you yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, just like a double crochet stitch, but instead you'll yarn over and then pull through all 3. So we have a chain 2 and a half double crochet. Then we'll chain 2 and work 2 more half double crochet into this chain 2 space. So once again, for a half double crochet, you'll yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. So then 1 more half double crochet. Then along the next side, we're going to work front post double crochet stitches. So it will be just like working a double crochet stitch. The only difference is where you insert your hook at the beginning. So when we yarn over, instead of inserting it into the top of the stitch, we're going to insert it around the post. So you'll yarn over, and then you're going to insert your hook underneath the stitch, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops, and then just like a double crochet, it's yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So once again, you yarn over, and then around the next stitch, it's like you insert your hook between the 2 stitches, and then between the next 2 stitches. Then yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops, so yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Alright, so I'll do that again. So for a front post double crochet, you yarn over, then you insert your hook like between the 2 stitches, and then between the next 2. Yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, so yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So one more time, you yarn over, you insert your hook like before the stitch, then after, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops, so yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we'll just continue on along the side, working a front post double crochet stitch into each stitch. Alright, so I'm at the end of the first side here. I have 1 more front post double crochet to work. Then into that chain 2 space, it's 2 half double crochet, so yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, then yarn over, pull through all 3. So that's 1, 2, then we'll chain 2, and then 2 more half double crochet into the space. So now that chain 2 space, it's 2 half double crochet, chain 2, 2 half double crochet. And then that's going to be the pattern for this round. So along the side, it's a front post, double crochet into each stitch. And then once you reach those chain 2 spaces, it's 2 half double crochet, chain 2, and then 2 half double crochet. So you can go ahead and continue that around, and then I'll meet you at the end. Alright, so I'm at the end of the last round here. And then if you want to, you could slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 and fasten off, but since it's the last round, to make it look a little bit nicer, I'm going to do the invisible fasten off. So for that, instead of working a slip stitch, you're just going to cut the yarn after that last front post double crochet, and then pull it through, attach a tapestry needle to that yarn, and then you'll want to find not the chain 2 but the half double crochet that comes right after it, and you'll pull the yarn through to the top of the stitch, so you'll insert that tapestry needle under the front and back loop just like you would if you're going to crochet into it, and you'll pull it through. Then into that last front post double crochet stitch, you're going to take the needle, which is now kind of like on the back side of the work, and you'll insert it between the front and the back loop and pull it up. And then normally what I do to secure it is just if you flip the work over, I just pull it through like the top of the chain 2. And then you can go ahead and weave that end in on the back of the work, and that just makes where you fasten off look a little bit nicer. So that's the full pattern for this granny square. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you make any of these granny squares, I would love to see pictures of them. So if you post them on Instagram, you can tag me in them, or you can just message them to me. I would also be very curious if anyone tries making like the flower a different color than the background. I wonder what that would look like. And then also, I would really appreciate if you watch these videos, if you would consider subscribing to my channel. It's completely free to do that. All it does is it just helps my videos get like recommended more for other people. And then also don't forget, in the description box down below, I'll put the link for the full pattern for the pillow, as well as the blog post with all the information about like the yarn and the colors. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you enjoy the pattern.